Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Above the Rim Rundown, where we run down all things NBA. I am one of your hosts, Memo, and right beside me, I've got Hoops. How you doing?
What's going on, man? Everything has been going good for the most part, honestly. Just getting through life, work, gym, rest, sleep, eat. Just like normal routine per usual. How you been?
Same here. Honestly, nothing interesting. Which is I know a boring response, but for me, it's been the same. I guess one thing that enjoyed this week was the new Black Country New Road album. They're a UK rock band that I really enjoy, and they released a new album. I guess technically today, and I think it's great. I've been enjoying it. I've been editing my reaction video for that, so that should be out really soon. I'm trying to get that out ASAP. So there's that. But honestly, just same old. Just listening to music, watching basketball as much as I can. I hate how complicated it is to watch basketball nowadays, but uh, yeah. Uh,
I
Still,
mean,
go on.
I was just gonna kind of like add on like our NBA Christmas Day wish list didn't really deliver. Seems like the accessibility is still not good.
And it might get worse too. Like, I really,
Um,
uh,
it's so annoying because well, I guess this is more of and one of the main NFL things is the damn trying to make it on exclusive platforms. Like for example, Amazon Prime only or like Peacock only. I don't know about the NBA doing that as much at the moment, but like I wouldn't be shocked like as you mentioned it gets worse. Let's hope not, but we'll see.
well, it's like everywhere, kind of uh,
Yeah,
like it's on
like League Pass.
Max. Yeah, League Pass. It's on. Sometimes there's games on Disney Plus. There's
Forget about that.
games on Max, but now you have to pay extra for that, which sucks. I had the bundle where like I had Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max all together, and I was excited about it, so I could watch basketball like that. But then, they changed it so that you have to pay even more to watch basketball on Max, which pissed me off a lot. Uh,
That's so
yeah, so like uh, we've talked about this before, but like it's crazy how there's so much like questioning on why viewership has been down. It's because there's it's so hard to find a way to watch all the games. Like why is it hard for people from SoCal to watch a Lakers game? Like at least let us be able to access Lakers games whenever we want. Like why is that so difficult? And it's not like a
mm.
LA
I
issue. It's like a entire country issue. Like people from Atlanta can watch Hawks games and so on. It sucks. It sucks so bad. Like I wish they just picked a single provider, whether it's Amazon Prime or Max or Peacock or whatever. It just stick with that or League Pass. Like why does League Pass have to suck so much? Like, it doesn't make sense. League
yeah.
Pass should be able to solve every issue. It should be a place where you can watch any basketball game, and it's not the case. Like there's like blackouts it
Yeah.
for everything. I don't know.
I,
Like,
to say the least, I miss the days when games were much more accessible, at least for the local market. Like for
yeah,
example, back in the day when Lakers would have all their road games on KCal 9, that's a basic TV channel, and you were at least able to watch half of the games back then. Now it's like you can hardly watch any of them. Maybe like an ABC 7 national television, which they hardly even have any. But yeah, it's frustrating to
well,
say the least.
us Lakers fans are lucky in regards to like national games. Like, if imagine you're a Hornets fan,
Yep,
like
true.
that would suck.
And the thing is like the league doesn't like how illegal streaming sites are so common, but it's like if you're not gonna make games accessible, you're really shocked that people are using that. Like, come on now.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe
pissed
do
off
something.
at illegal websites as well because like I tried using one this week to watch the Lakers and Warriors game and it wouldn't let me. It just wouldn't let me for some reason. I couldn't watch that
Yeah,
game even though I really wanted to.
one thing that does piss me off with those websites is sometimes it'll either keep on buffering or it just won't play. Like no playback. It'll say like stream not available or crashed or some dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what happened to me. It says stream unavailable, and I tried refreshing all over and over again, and it wouldn't let me. Like it's such a pain for
Make,
no reason.
make you settle make you settle for tracking via play by play.
To
Man, like the old
like at this point, I'm gonna specifically go to the gym when games are on, so I can watch it on the shitty ass screen on the treadmill, and because that's like the only way I can watch it from now on.
Yeah. There's like I think that the main ways for accessibility would be gym or like restaurant or bar.
But you pay for a gym membership every month,
Yep,
so
that's
I
true.
don't have to pay a meal every time I go.
That's right.
Anyways,
Anyways,
uh,
we literally probably could honestly do like an episode on like our biggest issues with the NBA and its functionalities. Maybe like in the off season.
maybe like we're already starting off heated. We're 7 minutes in, and we're talking about something that we didn't even plan to talk about. What we were planning on talking about today is our 2025 award predictions. Which is something that I really enjoy doing. We do this in the preseason. We do this right before the season's about to end to see if we could predict the actual winners. I have fun doing this. I'm sure you do as well. And yeah, I've got my list ready. What were some things that you had to keep in mind um, while coming up with your list for all of these awards and teams as well? We're also covering the all NBA team, all defensive team, and all rookie team. So, what were some things that you kept in mind while trying to predict all of these awards?
Yeah, I think one of the toughest things to keep in mind is eligibility. Like for example, the number of games played by certain players. Um, I guess to try not to spoil it just yet, but like there's certain players that I think maybe could have made like first team or second team, but then due to missing some games, I instead put them down a notch to the third team. And like things like that were a little bit tricky. Certain players probably should have been higher if not for missed games. And I think that the thing about like the um minimum number of games things is like kind of conflicting because I think it's good and it makes sense. You wouldn't want to give a award to a guy that hardly even played. At the same time, the barrier kind of makes it tricky when picking. But overall, honestly, I think the main thing was picking based on like player eligibility. Aside from that, I think certain players either it was like a well deserved no matter what because they one played a good amount of games and two they were really good, or there may have been a certain scenario where due to the lack of the top players, I guess like due to many of the supposed to be top players missing games, another guy made it maybe partially because of that. So honestly, I think eligibility definitely played like a big factor in certain things for me.
Yeah, that's definitely a big one to keep in mind. For most of these awards, I heard. I don't know if this is true, but I didn't. You know, basically listened to this rumor, but I heard that for the all rookie team, like it doesn't matter if you have played 65 games. If you played like a little less, it's fine. I don't know if that's true, but I kind of made sure that all the players that I chose were like just made sense at the end of the day for that team. But yeah,
Yeah.
I trying to keep in mind the games played. I did add players that didn't meet the threshold, but it seems likely they'll meet the threshold. I also tried my best to be unbiased as possible because I want to predict the awards correctly. It's not what like the players and coaches and whatever that I chose is not necessarily who I want to see win, but it's more who I'm expecting to win. So I might not agree with the picks I made, but I'm trying to get like the correct predictions at the end of the day.
Yeah. Honestly, same. Made most of these predictions based on who I really think will get it rather than who I really want to get it for the most part.
Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, I feel like we should try to predict our first award. We'll start with a more like boring one, which is Coach of the Year. And I feel like even though there are several coaches that deserve this award, I feel like this one is easy. So let's reveal it. Three, two, one. Okay, I put mine in the doc.
On a minute. For some reason, it like wasn't pasting. So
No
yeah,
worries,
there we
no
go.
worries. And there we go. We predicted the same player, not player, coach, which is Kenny Atkinson. So, why do you believe Kenny Atkinson should be coach of the year?
Yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory, simply due to the fact that the Cavs made such a big jump since he took over. Last year with JB Bickerstaff at the helm, this team was like super inconsistent. They made the 4 seed last year, were pushed all the way to the limit against the Magic in the 4 versus 5 matchup. And against the Celtics, clearly they were undermanned. Obviously, they were able to upset win blowout in Boston game two. But aside from that, they lost every other game pretty much handily. Or even though some games might have been closer on the scoreboard, it was still like obvious they were the inferior team. Insert Kenny Atkinson, and now the Cavs have currently the second best record in the league, but they were the best record in the league for a good chunk of the season. Um, and obviously regular season, but 5 game lead over the defending champs in the East is pretty good in the meantime. Just hopefully they can maintain it in the playoffs when it matters most. And yeah, going from a 4th seed to a possible or had a chance to win 70 games, even though it's not gonna probably not gonna happen now, I don't think, but had a chance for a little bit, mighty impressive. That's why I think that Kenny Atkinson is the clear-cut coach of the year.
Yeah, I wouldn't say clear cut, but like, yeah, he's the favorite, right? You added your honorable mention, JB Bickerstaff. That's definitely my honorable mention as well, for how big of a turnaround Detroit had. You know, we just talked about last week how they tripled the amount of wins they had from the previous season. I believe last season they won 14 games. They tripled that last week. So not only is that great, but they clinched a playoff spot as well. That's amazing for such a horrible team to bounce back in such a major way. The JB Bickerstaff definitely deserves all the love in the world. And, you know, I was kind of convincing myself last week that maybe he should be coach of the year. But the narrative throughout the year is that it was going to go to Kenny Atkinson because of, again, nobody expected this. You know, the Cavs, after losing to the Celtics last year, Just a ton of rumors about how this is not going to work, that they're just going to need to trade one of the guards, one of the big men. But instead of doing all of that, they extended Donovan Mitchell. They brought in Kenny Atkinson. They tried it again, and they look amazing. Darius Garland is progressing how he should be. So is Evan Mobley. Both of them were they both All Stars this year, or was it just Mobley and Donovan Mitchell?
I think Garland made it too.
I think so too. So they had three All Stars this year. They have 60+ wins. It, I wouldn't say he is the landslide favorite, but he's definitely the number one pick. So yeah, Kenny Atkinson should be coach of the year.
Agreed.
All right. So now that we got that out of the way, we could do rookie of the year, which is tougher, right? This was not a great rookie class. I'm sure if Jared McCain wasn't injured, he probably would have been the clear favorite. But
Easily.
um, I guess we should reveal our rookie of rookie of the year right now. And look at that, we got the same person. Okay, so we both got Stefan Castle as our favorites to win Rookie of the Year. That would be two Spurs players in a row to win Rookie of the Year. So that's kind of cool. Um, why do you believe that he's gonna win Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, so definitely pretty cool to potentially two straight Spurs players winning Rookie of the Year. And definitely agree, if Jared McCain did not get hurt, I think he would have won it. But unfortunately, he did get hurt, and so that was put to bed. Anyways, I believe that Stephen Castle should win it simply due to the fact that I think that he's been the most consistent rookie throughout the season and shown a lot of upside, a lot of good potential for the future. And with Wemby back healthy next season, it's gonna definitely be Spurs are gonna be fun to watch. I mean, like before Wemby went down, this Spurs team was honestly like pretty scrappy. Like they would have some sneaky good wins and some bad losses. But young teams, that's common. So I think that to say the least, the future is very exciting in San Antonio, and large part due to Stefan Castle, in addition to Wemby, of course. And I mean, I guess we'll see whether or not Chris Paul returns. Probably, I would assume he retires. But like, if he is there for one more year to mentor the young guys, that could be huge. Um, Hopefully Greg Popovich could return to coaching next year, but a very big question mark on his health status. Definitely wish him the best. Um, if Pop is able to come back, though, that would also be a huge plus for sure. So honestly, I think that the main reason why I got Stephon Castle as Rookie of the Year is because of him being very consistent throughout the entire season.
Yeah, he's definitely been consistent. His numbers aren't going to wow you. 14.3 points per game, 3.4 rebounds per game, 3.8 assists per game. But with that said, none of these rookies' numbers are gonna wow you. Like he is, I believe, the leader uh, in points per game for rookies. So there's that. The fact that he's consistent. He also won the Rising Stars MVP this year. He could be very exciting to watch as well. And there's some other players that we could mention as well that should be up here, like Risa Shea, Alex Sarr. They've had decent um, rookie years. Even Zach Edey, he almost averaged a double double this year, so shout out to him. But uh, Yeah, I think this is gonna go to Stefan Castle. I feel like a lot of people are saying that it's gonna be him, and I think it would be well deserved.
Definitely agreed on that.
Something I do want to mention, I forgot to do this for the coach, but I did pull up our doc for our preseason predictions, like very early award predictions. Uh, do you remember your prediction on who was going to win Rookie of the Year?
I'm pretty sure I predicted Zach Eady.
Yeah, same here.
Is that who you predicted as well? Yeah.
I predicted Sakiti. He had a decent season, but he got injured though, so that kind of derailed things throughout the season. But you know, he was decent this year. Uh, Coach of the Year though, mine aged horribly. Do you remember who you picked?
Um, Not really, honestly. If I were to guess, honestly, I don't remember. I would say if I were to guess, maybe like Mark Dagnall again,
That's
honestly. But
exactly who it was. Yeah, Mark Dagnall was your pick for Coach of the Year. My pick, Taylor Jenkins.
Taylor Jenkins, oh man. I mean, like to be fair, I don't think he did a bad job. Fuck, I don't know what the Memphis front office was had in mind, but like, I mean, looking at hindsight, it's just funny we can laugh at it because he's
Yeah,
somehow not enjoying anymore.
yeah.
Yeah,
How
poor guy.
how things changed. So yeah, I thought that was funny when I pulled it up. But okay,
Yeah.
there we go. Let's move on to Sixth Man of the Year. Now I feel like Sixth Man of the Year was like a two-man race. I don't know if you agree as well, but let's reveal our sixth man to each other. Um, and then yeah, we basically we're on the right page. So we both picked the same player to win Sixth Man of the Year, which is Peyton Pritchard. So why do you have Peyton Pritchard winning Sixth Man of the Year?
I think it's simply due to the fact that it seems like he had a pretty big breakout season. Like obviously he was very illustrious for the Celtics last season in the championship run. But this season it just seemed like he went on like a massive leap. Like he put up not only double digits, but a lot of 20-point games too. And then obviously, there was that one game like a few weeks ago or a month ago when both Tatum and Brown were out, but then Pritchard and Derek White were like the first Celtics duo to was it both put up 40 or something like that?
Yeah,
It was
40
something
plus
crazy.
points. A lot of threes too.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's crazy, let alone for two teammates to even put up 40 each. The fact that it was two of the more so thought of role players and not even superstars made it even more insane. So, yeah, I think that it's safe to say Peyton Pritchard, despite already being really good in previous years, this year he took a massive leap. And his 3-point shooting, elite, 41%. Hit so many half court shots too, and his scoring has jumped by 4.3 points, going from last year was his original career high at 9.6. Now he's at a 13.9 average. That's pretty impressive. So it's safe to say, I think that Peyton Pritchard, just like due to how big of a jump he's made, makes him the clear cut sixth man of the year.
Yeah, for me, it was the battle between Peyton Pritchard and Malik Beasley for the Milwaukee Bucks. He averaged 16.3 points per game off the bench. Also has a 40, I'll round up, 42% 3-point percentage. So the stats are there. The stats are decent. But as you said, you mentioned a lot of great things about Peyton Pritchard, and what he was able to accomplish this season. That was a very well said on your part. But not only that, Peyton Pritchard only started one game this season, while I believe Beasley, let's see, he started 17 games. I feel like that should be in play when you're
Yeah.
looking into six man of the year. If they started a lot, which 17 games, that's what about a quarter of the games this season. If almost a quarter of the games were starting, then I feel like we should lean towards the guy that only started one game this season, which was just recently actually, which is crazy. Like, I believe March 31st was Pritchard's first start. So that's ultimately what led me to pick Pritchard instead of Beasley. I noticed that you had a few other honorable mentions. Would you like to go over why you have them as honorable mentions?
Yeah, other honorable mentions, I brought up Ty Jerome because illustrious bench piece for the Cavs. One of the reasons why they were able to be a top seed in the East and the top seed in the NBA for a long time as well. And he also made a pretty big jump. So I thought he was definitely worthy of a mention there. And then another honorable mention I had was Nas Reed, simply due to the fact that I feel like Nas Reed is just like he was a candidate last year. I just put him here this year because it seems like he didn't really take any steps back, honestly. Still illustrious for a Timberwolves team that although they took a step back this season, they are looking to click at the right time right now. They've been playing really well lately and keep it up. I could definitely see them going on a deep playoff run again. So Nas Reed, definitely very valuable for that team. So those were the main guys, honestly. Ty Jerome, Nas Reed, and of course also Malik Beasley. But at the end of the day, I feel like Peyton Pritchard is just a notch above all those guys.
Okay. Do you remember who was your prediction before the season?
Hmm, not really. But if I were to guess, did I say Nas Reed maybe? Or
No, you picked his teammate.
oh, okay. Let me think which one. Uh, hmm, somebody on the Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I'm blanking out. I feel like if thinking of bench players, it must be like a pretty damn good one. Um,
I feel like, to be fair, he started a little, like, he had time starting, like a good amount of games starting this year as well.
oh, okay. Let me think then. Not Nikhil Alexander Walker,
No,
nah.
no,
Yeah. Um, oh, Dante DiVincenzo.
that was your guess. Yes, Dante DiVincenzo,
Yeah.
which was my honorable mention. I thought Malik Monk would finally win Six Man of the Year, but I guess that's
Yeah.
not never gonna happen. Apparently,
Honestly, like, what even happened to Malik Monk this year? Like, did he get hurt at all, or did he just like not
I
have a good
I don't
season?
even know. It's just the Kings are so irrelevant. They're
I
so mid that
I
like
don't
no
watch.
nobody
Honestly, like,
cares.
I have no idea how his season was because I just don't follow the
Yeah, he
Kings.
could have scored 30 points per game off the bench this season. I wouldn't even know. Like the Kings are
Yeah.
just so irrelevant now that yeah, to me it's like whatever.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
mean, like, I just pulled up his stats and I mean, seems okay. Okay, 17.6 points, 3 point rebounds, 5.7 assists.
how
Um,
many games played?
yeah, I guess. How many games has he played? Let me see. I did not see that part. Um, this season, if I can find it, Give me a moment. Hopefully this won't take a long time. I just need
He
to
must have
load
been
it real quick.
injured if he averaged 17
Probably.
off the bench, or either injured or started like almost all of the games because
Actually, oh, okay, that's why. He started almost all. That's the reason. Okay, so he's played in 62 games, so clearly he
he's like,
would probably qualify
yeah, he's like
if he
there.
played like all the remaining. But he's started 45 games this
There we go.
season.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Versus like he didn't start a single game last season or the game season before. So there we have it, guys. We were confused why he wasn't mentioned. Now we know it's because he started a lot
Mystery solved.
Yep. Funny.
All
But
right.
yeah.
Next award, we've got most improved player. I feel like going through like Vegas odds and stuff like that. Like a lot of the players named for this award, I just don't agree with at all, except for the one that I ended up choosing. So let's see if you have this guy. I'd be kind of annoyed if you have the guy that I don't want to win. Ah, you have the guy I don't want to win.
Oh,
Cade
oh, you
Cunningham.
didn't.
Okay, so you got Cade Cunningham. I got Dyson Daniels as my most improved player. So I'll have you go first.
Okay, so to start, I will say Dyson Daniels for sure, very good jump and should definitely be in high consideration. Honestly, the reason why I did choose Kate Cunningham is simply due to the fact like all right, to start, obviously we all know that he already was a really good player last year. I feel like he was just pretty under the radar because the Pistons were so bad last year. This season though, one of the key reasons why they are doing so good is because Cade Cunningham, he just took a step up, honestly, I think. Now obviously so many factors, coaching change, um, team chemistry getting better, and Cade one of the other reasons. But I think that Cade taking a step up, being a lot more available because like there were previous seasons where he was just not available too much. Um, I feel like he made a pretty big jump, so I had him as my pick, honestly. But like quite honestly, Dyson Daniels, very, very close. And he's a guy that like last season many people didn't even know of. And then this year he just comes out of the blue and does wonders. So honestly, I think it's a close call. I just picked Cade, I guess maybe partially due to like the team impact on winning, but um yeah, it's definitely close call.
Yeah, I feel like if Cade does win, it's mostly because of the improvement from like the Detroit Pistons. Like that whole team improved so much that like I think Cade will end up winning most improved player. Like I won't lie, this is where I my bias did come through because I refuse to give a number one pick most improved player, especially since last year he played like an all star. The only reason why he wasn't an all star was because his team sucked. But now that his teammates got better this year and he averaged just like 2 more points, 2 more rebounds, 2 more assists, I don't think that's enough for him to earn most improved player. Um, it might be for the voters, and again, I think that would suck because why are we giving a all star caliber player uh, from last year the most improved player award for being an all star this year when a player like Dyson Daniels who averaged 6 points last year and is now averaging 14 points and is one of the best perimeter defenders in the league and is now known as the Great Barrier Thief for all the steals he has this season. Um, why wouldn't he get the award? Like that's the confusing part for me. Like this guy, um, where's okay over here. He is averaging 3.1 steals per game. Has a 194 steals as of March 31st, which is 77 more steals than the second place guy, which is Shea. Like this is he's an amazing defender, improved a lot offensively this year. He's not perfect, but like an 8 point jump is a significant jump for a player. So I feel like he should win the award. I feel like that makes the most sense. But historically, as of late, I wouldn't be surprised if Cade won. You know, like Tyrese Maxey won last year after ending off the season kind of playing like an all-star and then finally becoming the all-star last year. uh he ended up winning the award. Like this happens like all the time. John Morant won the award a few years ago, even though he didn't improve that much. His teammate Desmond Big kind of deserved it more, if we were all being honest. So I understand why Cade will most likely win, but I'm really pushing for Dyson Daniels because I feel like better uh he's a better definition of who should be winning this award. Other than that, though, I did have Norman Powell as an honorable mention. He's not gonna win it though due to games played. He only played 55 games this season. And then Austin Reeves as well had a small jump, but not as big of a jump as Dyson Daniels. So that's why Dyson Daniels is my pick.
Yeah, so honestly, you made a lot of good points and kind of convincing me honestly cuz like 6 points to 14 points is a crazy jump for sure. Um honestly, another thing you also had a really good point on is the fact that history tends to kind of lie on the angle of maybe a Cade Cunningham win. And it's kind of confusing. Like, how exactly is it most improved if the stats did not even jump like that much? I guess I don't know what exactly the voters look into. Are they looking into exciting star power or are they actually looking into like this player got way better than last year? Because I feel like the second one is a better description of the award named most improved player. Um, and I think that the John Morant one definitely stands out the most because like he was already really good the previous season, but then he won the award. And if I were to make a bet, I kind of think that they're maybe gonna give it to Cade, even though his stats were not have as drastic. But who do I think might be more deserving? Probably Dyson, honestly. Now that you really convinced me, going from 6 to 14 is crazy. And as mentioned, last year a lot of people didn't even know who the guy was, and this year he's been a breakout guy. So I would say more deserving, Dyson, probably gonna win due to history and narratives. Cade, I think.
Yeah, so for sure my bias came through on that one because I kind of do agree with you that I think Cade will win it, but like I don't want that to happen, so that's why I'm saying that Dyson's gonna win it. Uh, do you remember your prediction from before the season started?
Um,
Honestly, it was a decent
maybe.
prediction.
Hmm. Let
I'm
me
sur-
think.
I'm
Most.
kind of surprised this guy's not really in the conversation.
Oh, okay. Um, let me think. Honestly, I don't remember, but Kobe White maybe. It's a wild guess.
No, not. Kobe White. He should have
Mhm.
won last year.
Yeah, I think he should have won last year. Um, yeah, honestly, I don't remember who I picked.
It was Jalen Williams. I guess the
Oh,
leap
okay.
wasn't too crazy. It was 19 to 21.4 points. I feel like defensively is where he really uh like improved, I guess, but this award doesn't really focus on defense, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, probably.
He did become an all-star this year though, so that's like always an added bonus
Mm.
for this award.
I feel like making an all-star is a major improvement.
Yeah. But all right, I guess we could move on to the next award, which is Clutch Player of the Year. And yeah, I guess we could just reveal it right now. Let me just pull up my doc. Um, but yeah, this is always like a tedious award to predict because you kind of just have to look into like the clutch stats to try to figure this out. But it seems like we got the same person, which was Jalen Brunson. Now, Jalen Brunson has not made it to 65 games, and I believe he's currently injured, but I also believe he's returning like really, really soon. So he could reach the threshold. I think he's played 61 games so far. So why do you think Jalen Brunson is going to win it?
I think it's simply due to the fact that that man has had so many clutch moments this season. I don't know how many shots exactly, but didn't he like make like at least maybe like three, four like go ahead or like buzzer beater shots or something? Some like the man has, to say the least, been really clutch this season. Illustrious in the Knicks having a great season, and so I think that's one of the reasons why he is very deserving of winning clutch player of the year. Um, Now, if he did not get hurt, it would not even be a debate. Even if he did get hurt, I still think that he's been the clutch player of the year. Um, as an honorable mention, I put Nikola Jokic because like he's proven time and time again to be a clutch player, and we can all know his greatness. But at the end of the day, like I think the clear cut, obvious answer is clearly Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, he's my pick. He was top five last year for this award, and he has made the third most amount of points in clutch time as well with 145. His record in, I guess, like clutch games is 17 to 9, so he's won 17 clutch games with the Knicks and lost 9 of them, which is a top 3 percentage. My honorable mention is Trey Young. He currently has the most points in like clutch minutes. He hit a really cool game winner this year from half court. That's awesome. But the Hawks' record in clutch games is, as you'd expect, very mid, 21 to 20. So because of that, I did lean towards Brunson. I was thinking of Nikola Jokic as well, and I know this is such a new award, so it's hard to really say this with like no basis at all, no evidence. But I feel like a clutch player of the year award would go more towards like a wing player or a guard player because you don't really expect a big man to be clutch, which Jokic is clutch. He's hit game winners before and, has helped the Nuggets win tough games all the time. But I don't think a like if you thought of a clutch person in your head right now, I don't think Nikola Jokic is going to be the first person to come in mind. I'm sure it's going to be like a guard or a wing that comes in mind before Nikola Jokic. So I don't know. Maybe that I'm reading too deep into this, but because of that, I don't think Nikola Jokic is gonna win. I think it will go to Brunson if he makes the threshold, which we'll see. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. And honestly, a lot of very fair viewpoints you made. I mean, like, kind of true. You don't really think of a big man when talking about like clutch players, even though Jokic is really clutch. And honestly, I also had Trey Young as another honorable mention. Um, the only reason why I didn't really mention him too much is due to, as you mentioned, the Hawks, very mid record in crunch time. Like, I think it's more on the Hawks though. Like, I think the Hawks are not a clutch team, but Trey is a clutch player. But because his team is so mid, it just doesn't make him look as clutch, which is frustrating. But yeah, I think that Trey very well could be like runner up, but I think it really should be Brunson. Hopefully he does qualify, and I think he will. The only thing is, I believe he has to play 4 out of 6 the remaining games, and the Knicks, I believe they have like two back to backs, which might, I don't know if they have to like manage his injury. That might play factor into like him missing games. I guess the hope is that he plays exactly 4 more games so
Mm-hmm.
he qualifies that way, which I think is might be what happens. I mean, like load management could be he plays 1 game of the back to back and sits the other game, or maybe he plays a lot 1 game and a little the other game. Honestly, but either way, though, like I think it should be Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, I didn't even think about the back to back, so that's definitely throws it
Yeah,
off a bit.
actually, I was like reading an article for like award predictions, and one thing said something about that. That's the only reason why I knew. But I think he's supposed to return for the Knicks tomorrow on Saturday.
Okay.
So good sign. Good sign.
Yeah, he's gonna need some reps as well going into the playoffs.
Definitely.
So they're probably gonna want him to play as much as possible. Well,
Oh,
probably
for sure.
limiting minutes at the same time. Um.
That's for sure.
All right, that's clutch player of the year. What's next? What's next? Okay, defensive player of the year. So this was definitely interesting. We're gonna reveal this really soon. Before we do that, though, I forgot to do this. Do you remember your prediction before the season started for clutch player of the year?
Um, let's see. Was it DeMar DeRozan? No, Steph Curry. Right?
Neither.
Neither. Um, oh, Dame, right?
Nope, not deep.
Not even. Oh, I feel like a lot of guesses, but Luca.
It was Luca. Your prediction was Luca. My prediction was Anthony Edwards, which is kind of funny now because he has like lost the Timberwolves a few games during clutch time
Oh,
this season due to like very poor decision making. So that one aged poorly. But back to the defensive player of the year award. Again, this was definitely a weird one because everybody was expecting Wemby to win it. He was the leader for most of the year until he got injured. So now nobody really knows who is gonna win it. Like I know the odds. I know who's the odd favorite, but um, I guess we could reveal who we believe is gonna win it at the end. Um, and look at
let's do that.
that. We got the same player once again. Evan Mobley winning Defensive Player of the Year. So why do you have him winning it?
So I think that one of the key reasons why I pick Evan Mobley is he has just been such an anchor and force to be reckoned with overall. And huge reason is his presence on the defensive end. Um, on the season, he's averaging 1.6 blocks per game, He's also averaging point 0.8 steals per game, and not necessarily defense, but his rebounding, of course, is an force to be reckoned with as well. 9.2 rebounds on the season, and he's just been really impressive, and one of the key reasons why the Cavs have been so good this season. And his defensive presence is key for sure. So that's one of the main reasons why I picked Evan Mobley for Defensive Player of the Year. And as you mentioned, I think that easily would have been Wemby if he didn't get hurt. But since he did get hurt, I think Evan Mobley is clear cut the guy.
Yeah, he's top 10 in defensive rating. The Cavs are also top 10 in defensive rating, so that definitely always helps. He's a very good defender, a very versatile defender for his size. Even though he could block shots and play as a big man, defend well in the post. He could defend a guard when needed to, when switched. He's very agile. So I do believe Mobley should win it. My honorable mention was Dyson Daniels, for being just like insane steals wise. Like he's got so many steals. I already mentioned the stat earlier, but he averages 3.1 steals per game, which is crazy, and had 194 total steals uh, on March 31st. So that's probably increased by now, but yeah, just a crazy amount of steals. I know, Jaren Jackson Jr. is in the mix. Draymond Green is very likely to win it as well, but to me, it should go to Evan Mobley. Well, were there other players that you had in mind for this award?
Um, I think I definitely gave Rudy Gobert some consideration, even though I will admit, like, I haven't been watching a lot of Timberwolves games, so I wouldn't know, like, for sure how good exactly he's been. Um, Aside from him, though, I think that Dyson Daniels is for sure a really good candidate. I even saw, like, there was this one headline that said, "What's more likely for Dyson Daniels, most improved player or defensive player of the year?" And that's honestly a good question because I think he has a really good case for both of them. But I would say probably, if we're to answer that question, probably most improved player. But as mentioned earlier, history might lean towards Cade. We'll see. Anyhow, yeah, the main honorable mentions honestly would probably be Rudy Gobert and Dyson Daniels. At the end of the day, I think Evan Mobley is that guy.
All right. Do you remember your defensive play of the year prediction?
I'm pretty sure it was just Wemby, right?
Yeah, yours was Wemby. Mine was Anthony Davis, who probably would have been a favorite if he was able to stay healthy. But unfortunately,
Yeah,
that was not the case. So,
yeah, definitely disappointing there too.
yeah, for sure. So that's defensive player of the year. Now we made it to the big boy, the award that we've
Ah,
all been waiting for, MVP. Let's reveal that to each other right now.
MVP, MVP.
And then, okay, seems like we got the same person winning MVP, which is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, I'll say this. I don't think he's the best player in the league, and I don't think
I
he
agree.
should be winning this award. But because of like all the narratives and all the stuff that he's been doing as well, like he's definitely like played like an MVP. Uh, to me, it's weird giving him the award, but like it seems like it's going to be Shea. Oh, I'll go more into detail later, but I'll have you go first. Why do you think SGA is going to win it?
Yeah, so as I honestly agree with like almost everything you said from top to bottom. Um, because like for to start, I also don't think he's the best player in the league. But narratives will probably point to him winning simply due to the fact that one, despite him not being the best player in the league, he's still a really good player in the league. And by being a really good player in the league, he is also on the best team in the league record wise. So like that pretty much shifts him in the favor of winning the award. Like for example, you talking best player, I think it's still gonna be Nikola Jokic, which happens to be my honorable mention. But the reason why I picked Shea over Nikola is because the Thunder are a better team than the Nuggets this season, and Shea does seem to be like obviously he already was really good, but I think he definitely took a step up for sure. And as mentioned time and time again, this is pretty much OKC's year to win it all, honestly. Like they just got to finish the job, and if they do, I think that him winning this award would be all the way more deserving. Even if he isn't actually the best player in the league, I think this season was very special for him, and he would be deserving to win this for sure.
Yeah, like Shea's scoring output is insane. It's MJ like. It's that crazy. I think he has the longest like 20-point streak within a season, something like that. Um, and he's a great defender as well, which we can't say the same for Nikola Jokic. Like I feel like Shea will get some love for like DPOY voting, all defensive team voting. I think he'll get some love there. Um, and the fact that the Thunder are easily the best team in the West. Like there's a huge gap between the first seed and the second seed. I think this is all gonna just lead to him winning this award. It should be going to Nikola Jokic. Like this is honestly his best best season. Like stat wise, like he's averaging a damn near a 30-point triple double. 29.8 points per game, 12.8 rebounds per game, 10.2 assists per game, 57.8 from the field, 42% from three. A center, a center shooting 40% from three. That's crazy. That's crazy. He's doing
Also,
stuff that's not normal.
it's crazy. Also, hitting half court shots like the norm. I mean, like he hit several
Exactly.
this season.
Like these
It's this season is a
percentages are
monster.
better than Shea, who's like the best scorer in the league. And not also like Shea only averages like 3 points more than Jokic. That's it. Like that's the only thing you could say he's better at, and he's not that much better than Jokic at scoring.
Exactly. And I think that another thing for sure that will lean towards putting Shea in favor is obviously voters fatigue with Jokic already winning
Oh
so
yeah,
many times. If they can give it to another guy, they're pretty much very damn well gonna give it to another guy. And is it the right move? Probably not, but I guess safe to say at least Shea is deserving of it.
the man dropped a 60-point triple double this week. How is he not gonna win MVP? That's crazy. It
It's
really is
crazy.
crazy. I think
And
voter fatigue is definitely gonna be a huge part. I don't think the voters are comfortable saying that Nikola Jokic deserves the same amount of MVPs as LeBron James. Like I think that's definitely gonna be in the back of people's or back of voters' minds. Um, and yeah, I just find it all weird. Like the 3-time MVP has improved even more since the last time he earned all of his MVPs, and he's still not gonna win the award. That's crazy, you know. But I feel like every sign is signaling that Shea's gonna win it, and the Thunder are amazing. That's definitely a big uh, indicator. If your team is doing really well, um, then you are likely going to win the award. It's very rare for um, like if your team is in the sixth seed, it's very rare for you to win the award. Even though Jokic has done that before, Westbrook has done that before. Um, but that's not even the case for Jokic either. Like the Nuggets are top four, are they? The West is a little messy, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're outside of the top four. But
Currently, they are number 4.
okay,
They dropped a spot after losing to the Warriors tonight.
okay, so
So them and the Lakers are kind of like back and forth between the 3-4 spot. I know West is crazy right now seeding.
yeah, seating wise, it is insane. So I could see that hindering Jokic's chance, but I've always been the guy that rooted for the better player on the shittier team. Like I was a proponent of Westbrook winning it years ago. Same when Jokic won it years ago. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna pan out my way this time. I think it's gonna be Shea's year.
Yeah. And one of my least favorite things about MVP voting is that they seem to put team success over like almost everything. I mean, that's one of the key things that robbed Kobe of winning so many MVPs that he should have won. Especially the year when Steve Nash won it over him. Like Steve Nash was not even close to being the better player. Just that his team was better, and that was why he won. So I definitely don't like that part of the MVP voting, but I guess it is what it is.
So yeah, that's all I have to say about this award. And um, do you want to guess on who you predicted was gonna win?
Um, MVP. Did I say Jokic?
No,
No.
we both did not pick Jokic.
Okay. Let me see then. Did I say Luca?
Yes, we both predicted Luca was gonna win. I think because last year Luca ended
Yeah,
off the season on
he
such a
did so
high
good.
note. Yeah, that
Yeah,
we thought he was finally gonna win his first MVP, but
yeah.
no.
It's just so crazy. Like, so much stuff is so crazy. I mean, one, because a Laker now. Two, he didn't quite have the amazing season that we thought he would have, though he's still obviously really good.
Yeah,
And
due
then
to injury
three,
though.
the turnaround. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, to say the least, like a lot of the stuff that did happen today, if someone told us that a year ago, we would definitely think that they were in an absolute like they would be high or like in an absolute fantasy.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the last thing we're gonna pick or predict before doing the teams is the finals winner. So let's review that right now. So not necessarily an individual award, but we are predicting who's gonna win it all, and we both chose the same team winning it, which is the Thunder. You specified Thunder over Celtics. I would agree. I think that would be the finals matchup as well. Uh, and funny enough, I'll just spoil this right now. This was our original prediction as well before the season
I
started.
do remember that.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
uh, kind of crazy. We were at least able to predict how great these two teams were going to be this season. Um, we'll see if it actually pans out, but we're sticking with our guns here, saying that Thunder are going to beat the Celtics in the finals. Why do you think that is going to be the case?
Yeah. So I will say like it's definitely tricky and a bit of a toss up. Like Celtics make a case for like potentially repeating, and God forbid, obviously we hope that does not happen. But I think that there is a really good chance the Thunder is going to win it simply due to the fact that they just look like they have been the best team all around for much of the season. And on top of that, like I know that regular season matchups and games don't really necessarily mean all that impact in come playoff time, but the Thunder did sweep the Celtics in the two matchups that they played this season, winning the game in OKC and then the game in Boston. So hopefully that will be an indication of what is to come if they do meet in the finals. Anyways, yeah, I would say kind of tough, close call, but I think Thunder wins simply due to their their youth depth and last year it was just not enough experience their first year in the playoffs. I think after 1 year down, they are definitely much more prepared this year, and I think they will get over the hump. So that is why I picked the Thunder as the NBA champs of 2024-2025.
Yeah, basically said everything that I was thinking. You know, the Thunder are younger. Their team is built similarly to the Celtics, like very similar. Um, I feel like a lot of the Celtics players, although aren't washed, but they regressed a little bit. Like Jalen Brown isn't as good as last year, and he was the Finals MVP last year, so that's definitely a concern. I feel like Drew Holiday had a little step back. Al Horford is still good. Like all these players are still good, but they're aging. They're aging. So um, youth is definitely gonna come through in this matchup for sure. Like although maybe uh, the Thunder are too young, maybe they still need a bit more experience. But at the end of the day, I think they still have enough to pull it off. And obviously, they have the better player with Shea, who will most likely win the MVP. And I could definitely see him winning Finals MVP uh, this playoff. So I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, those are our predictions for the finals. Now we're going to predict all the teams, which is always difficult to do. Uh, I
Very difficult.
think we were like close to predicting the entire All NBA team correctly last year. So maybe we could do it again this year. But yeah, it definitely was difficult to predict this, but we're going to try our best here. So let's reveal our list if I can find my list. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's see. So we're gonna reveal first team All NBA, and we got the same
I think
list.
we yeah, and I think it's pretty clear and obvious why these guys are deserving first team, and that being um, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jason Tatum, and Donovan Mitchell.
Yep.
So I think it's pretty safe to say these are clearly the top five players of the league this season. Um, you can put it in any order you like. We didn't necessarily put it in any order here, but not much to explaining for Joker. Obviously, mentioned earlier, this is arguably his best season of his career, despite having a very good his career already. Shea, probably the best season of his career and leading his team to the best record in the league. Major factor due to him. Giannis, even though the Bucks are struggling immensely, he's one of the few bright spots for this team, and without him, who knows where this team would be right now. Um, Jason Tatum, obviously last year there was a lot of question marks about like him disappearing when it matters most, and arguably being the number two behind Jalen Brown. But this season, I think it has been all but clear that he is the number one option. So that's why Jason Tatum's here. And of course, Donovan Mitchell, illustrious jump, and one of the main reasons why the Cavs are able to be number one in the East and were number one in the NBA for much of the season. And Obviously, without him, who knows where his team would be. So I think those were the main reasons why I believe these five guys were clearly the first NBA team. Would you like to add on to anything I said about why this should be the first NBA team?
I don't really have much to say. I think you covered it well. I guess I'll say that four of these five players were in the first team All NBA team last year. The only player missing here is Luka Doncic, who will not be eligible due to games played this year. So, replacing him is Donovan Mitchell, which is well deserved. You know, he helped lead the Cavs to 60 wins this season, 60 plus wins. So, yeah, all of these names make sense. You know, we got Shea, Nikola Jokic, both MVP caliber players. Giannis is also MVP caliber player. We just never talk about him because the Bucks aren't as impressive. And Jason Tatum, you know, leader of the Celtics, who are awesome all the like every year. So this list makes sense. We got the same list so far. Let's see if the second team is the same. I don't know. Uh, I'll say the second and third teams were hard to
I think
pick.
it was definitely tricky to make these two teams, trying to think like who's more deserving and so forth.
All right. Ooh. Okay.
Hmm,
Slightly different,
kind
I
of
believe.
similar, but a little different.
Yeah,
I
a
think it's
little
just
different.
one player different.
One player different. What's a diff? Oh, okay. I see the difference.
Oh,
So you read
I see
off
now.
your
Yeah,
list, and then I'll
yeah.
go over the difference.
So for me, I on the All NBA second team, I had Steph Curry, LeBron James, Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, and Evan Mobley.
And I've got the exact same list except for Evan Mobley. I don't have Evan Mobley in my second team. I have Jalen Brunson instead, which, you know, I'm assuming that he's going to make the 65 game threshold. But yeah, okay, so we've got some obvious names here, like LeBron, you know. The Lakers did great this season. He's the leader of the Lakers. Same with the Warriors. You know, the Lakers and Warriors have had a very similar season this year where they were kind of rocky at the beginning. It seemed like they were both maybe playing teams. Trades happen, and then boom, they're both great now. So, um, yeah, if LeBron's going to be in second team, so is Steph. Cade Cunningham, you know, led the Detroit Pistons to an incredible season, tripling their wins from last year. He not only deserves to be on all NBA team, but I think second team is very fitting for him. And Anthony Edwards is the last player we have in common, who is an exciting player. He's improved a lot, especially on the 3 point end. He's been shooting a lot of threes this season and doing it in a pretty efficient manner, I'll say. You have Evan Mobley here. I have Jalen Brunson. Do you not have Jalen Brunson here because of possibly him not being able to be eligible for this team?
And you are correct. Yeah. Honestly, I think that Jalen Brunson would have for sure been second team, but due to the number of games he missed, I put him a notch down. Spoiler alert. And the reason is because obviously one, the possibility of not being eligible, but two, these other guys have been like more available. Like, so to be honest, initially I was gonna have Brunson on the second team, and I was thinking of putting Steph on the third team. But because Brunson was hurt, I'm like, yeah, I think Steph needs to be on the second team. So honestly, the main reason why Brunson is not on my second team is because of injury and possibility of not being eligible. But aside from that, like Jalen Brunson has such a great season, he will for sure at least make one of the two teams, or one of the three teams, not being the first team, but he'll be second or third.
Yeah, I think so too. And I guess spoiler alert on my end as well. I do think Evan Mobley will be making an all NBA team as well. I just have him in my third team. I think I hope. Uh uh I don't remember. But he's definitely worthy of the conversation for sure. You know, being a two-way force on both ends of the floor. He deserves to be on the list. And I guess we should remind people as well, because maybe some people are wondering why we have four guards and a forward in the second team. Positions do not matter anymore for these teams, so they could all be point guards. They could all be centers. They could be uh, one small forward, three point guards, and a center. It doesn't matter anymore. So that's why, there's a lot of guards here. A lot of guards that deserve to be here. So I guess this is a good time to review our third team. Let's see if Evan Mobley did make my list. Okay, good news. Evan Mobley did make my list. I was debating over him and Garland. So spoiler alert, but Garland didn't make my list, even though he definitely deserves a mention. But
Okay,
okay.
so my formatting kind of got a little bit messed up here, but yeah, I wrote a few like extra notes down just for like I guess eligibility purposes.
Uh huh.
I guess I could start by mentioning my team. So for my team, I had Jalen Brunson, Kevin Durant, Karl Anthony Towns, Jalen Williams, and Alperen Şengün. And then I put a note that Jalen Brunson, in order to qualify, he cannot miss more than 2 games remaining. So he has to play 4 out of 6. And then I wrote a note that if Jalen Brunson were to be disqualified, then as a replacement, I would put Jaren Jackson Jr. But I hope and pray that he will be eligible because I think he deserves it more, clearly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we basically mentioned the same players. Like I have Albert Şengün. I did have Jaren Jackson Jr. making my team. Evan Mobley, which was in your second team. Jalen Williams and Carl Anthony Towns. I did not have Kevin Durant, and that's mostly because the Suns suck. They are so bad that I'm not putting him on the team. Like they might not make the playoffs. They're like at the cusp, so yeah,
They're probably not going to make play in.
yeah, exactly. So I don't think Kevin Durant should make it. Um, does he even have like enough games played? Like he's been injured a bit, but I don't know if it's super
Oh,
significant.
I don't know how many games he's played.
Yeah, I'm not sure
So
either.
that's something to factor in also, honestly.
Okay, so do you want to go over why the players he chose will likely make the team?
Yeah, so as mentioned earlier, Jalen Brunson very much wanted to put him in second team due to the fact that he missed a bunch of games recently. That's why I put him in third team. Um, Karl Anthony Towns was already really good last year as a Timberwolves, but this year seems like he took a jump and a key difference for the Knicks. Obviously, the Knicks were a good team last year. Getting him might be potentially keys to give them the next leap. J Dub, obviously, there's not much that needs to really be said. The fact that he made his first All Star appearance says enough, and very illustrious for OKC, both sides of the floor, super valuable, and very deserving of making this team as well. Um, Alperen Şengün, also a breakout season, honestly. He was really good already previous years, but this year, one of the key makes an All-Star appearance and is one of the key reasons why the Rockets are currently sitting second in the Western Conference. And KD, I think I mostly just put him here due to his greatness because like we all know who Kevin Durant is, how good he is, and is capable. But what you said is very reasonable as well. The fact that the Suns are just a horrible team, clearly not going to go anywhere. And yeah. Um, anyways, I'll mention the reason why I have Jaren Jackson Jr. as my honorable mention if Brunson would not qualify. And the reason is because he definitely made a big jump this season as well. Obviously, he made the All Star, and kind of shocking that he made it over Ja. Maybe not really, depending on who you ask. Some people would even like try to argue who's the best player on the team. I think it's clearly still Ja, but I guess this season you could make an argument that Jaren Jackson was the best Grizzly. Anyways, I would say those are the main reasons why I picked all these players for all NBA third team.
Okay, makes sense. I guess I'll quickly go over my reasoning. Alvin Sengun helped lead the Rockets to the playoffs for the first time in a bit, so that's cool. I believe they're the second seed. They were able to um, be the second seed for a majority of the season, so shout out to them. Jared Jackson Jr. was definitely had a leap this season, especially offensively, and was holding it down when Ja was injured throughout the season. So he deserves to be here. Evan Mobley. It was a toss between him and Garland, but I ended up choosing Evan Mobley mostly due to the defense. I think he's a really great defender and a decent scorer as well. Jalen Williams, the sidekick to Shea, one of the best teams in the league. Actually, the best team in the league. So they had to have a second guy. And Carl Anthony Towns, who had debatably his best season this year, playing for a new team and shining over there in the Big Apple. So he deserves to be mentioned. So, yeah, those are all the players we believe should make an all NBA team. Now we're gonna go to all defense team. It's getting harder from here on now. Like this was definitely tough to make, but I'm sure we both tried our best here. And let's reveal our list for all defensive first team. Okay. Great names involved for both lists. We Our lists aren't the same, but we have a few that are in common. So, would you like to read off your list?
Yeah, so on my list, I got Evan Mobley, Dyson Daniels, Rudy Gobert, Amon Thompson, and Lou Dort.
And for me, what we have in similarity are Evan Mobley, um, Lou Dort, Dyson Daniels, and then our differences start with me having Draymond Green, and I also have Jaren Jackson Jr. in first team. Um, did Draymond or Jaren make your second team?
Um, Both of them did actually.
All right,
Yep.
all right. So why do the players in your list deserve to be in first team?
So starting with Evan Mobley, not much need to be mentioned aside from what we already did when predicting him for Defensive Player of the Year. Um, he has been probably the best player in the league defensively overall. So that would be a huge reason why he would be on the first team. And then, as we mentioned, Dyson Daniels also not only a breakout season, but also a breakout defensive performance. So very worthy of being on the first team there as well. Rudy Gobert, I put him on the list simply due to his kind of like a little bit of his history and his reputation of being a defensive presence. Maybe a slight step back this year, but nonetheless still really good defensively. So I thought he was worthy there. Amon Thompson, once again, um, illustrious piece to the Rockets' second seed. And yeah, clearly his defensive presence is a huge reason why as well. And then, of course, Lou Dort, probably arguably the best defensive player on the Thunder, lockdown perimeter defender, 3 and D, and usually guards the best player on the opposing team. Maybe like a switch between him and J Dub, but yeah, he is an elite defender. So those are the reasons why I had these guys on my All NBA defensive first team.
Okay, I'll quickly go over mine. I have Evan Mobley here. I think he's going to win DPOY, so he obviously has to be in first team. Draymond Green, although I don't think his defensive presence was, throughout the entire season. I feel like ever since Jimmy came onto the Warriors, everybody got revitalized. Not just Steph, but Draymond as well. So he's been playing a lot of great defense towards the end of the season. Lou Dort, the Thunder is one of the best defensive teams in the league, so he had to be there. There's a reason why they call him the torture chamber, because he be locking people up sometimes. Dyson Daniels, I went over him a lot, but yeah, a crazy amount of steals this season from the man. Averages 3.1 steals per game. I feel like I don't have to say much there. And then Jaren Jackson Jr., it is a good help defender. I always think he's a bit overrated, but I do think he's going to make first team all defense. Let's review second team. Let's get going. And then looking at my list, you're going to see that there is somewhat of a theme going on. Which is, I've got a lot of Thunder players on my list. I have Lou Dort in first team. In second team, I have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I also have Jalen Williams from the Thunder. I couldn't pick who else I wanted from the Thunder, so I added them to second team. Both of them in second team. I also have Ahmed Thompson, who you have in first team. I added Tumani Kamara, great defender on the Blazers, and Ivica Zubac. I believe he deserves some love for the incredible season he's had for the Clippers. Not only offensively, but defensively. He's really amped it up over there. So, who's in your list?
So for me, I got Ivica Zubac, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Draymond Green. I put Giannis on the list, and then I also did note that Draymond Green, he cannot miss more than 3 games in order to qualify, which I feel like he probably should have no problem with that. So
I didn't even know that.
I think he'll. Yeah, I found out like in an article, but I think that he for sure will get that. But if he does not, then my backup would be Tumani Kamara, who is an underrated player on the Blazers. So yeah, honestly, getting to the point on why I picked these guys, as you mentioned, Ivica Zubac has been having a great season all around, arguably his best season of his career, and offensively really good, defensively probably even better. And yeah, he's the reason why Clippers have been playing well lately. One of the main reasons. Um Giannis, it's no secret how good of a defender he is throughout his career. His length, athleticism has been very key to his defensive presence, and so that's why I put him on this list. Jaren Jackson Jr., as mentioned, defensive anchor, breakout season, made an All Star. Definitely, probably a little bit overrated, but nonetheless, not to take away from him, he is still really good. Um, Jalen Williams, obviously, already mentioned a lot of good about him. Illustrious to OKC's run. Three really good 3 and D wing, and vital piece to the Thunder. Um, Draymond, we already know how big of a good defender he is. A pest. Also annoying locker room guy, but to say the least, that does not take away from his great defensive presence. And definitely highly considered putting him in the first team. There were just a few guys I thought were a little bit more deserving. That's why I put him in second team. And so, yeah, those were the guys I picked. And then just as a bonus, Tumani Kamara, I put him here due to one, he's been having a pretty good breakout season too himself, and overall his defensive presence, major factor. So those are the reasons why I picked these guys for all NBA defensive second team.
All right, fair enough. I ended up not having Rudy Gobert or Giannis on my list, which is kind of crazy to say since they're both amazing players that both have won Defensive Player of the Year in the past. And I really do not have a good reason on why they're not on my list. I I guess you could throw out some of my Thunder guys out. But yeah, I do have two Thunders in second team, Shea and J Dub. They both are great defenders. I just couldn't decide who should make it. Maybe J Dub's more than Shea because J Dub was able to defend well as a center, even though he's very short. Or not very short, but he's short for a center. He had to play backup center when, or not backup center. He was the starting center at some points because both Chet and Isaiah Hartenstein were injured. So the since he was able to defend centers, I thought he deserved to be here. Um, but yeah, Amon Thompson, a very versatile, athletic defender. He's insanely good. As you said, Tamar Kamara is very underrated. Visa Supats has had a great year this year. Um, yeah, those are our teams, I guess. And we got one more team to go through, and that's the all rookie team. Let's just get through this because this was definitely the hardest one to do for me. It was
Yeah,
rough.
it was definitely a challenge.
So let's just reveal our first team. And okay, a little different. A
Very
little
close, very
different.
close.
Yeah. So go over your team.
Yeah, so for me, all NBA rookie team, I got Stefan Castle, Zachary Risache, Alex Sarr, Zach Edey, and Jalen Wells.
And for me, I've got the same list for the most part: Stefan Castle, Zachary Ricochet, Alex Sarr, Jalen Wells. But instead of Zach Edey, I have Kel Ware. Don't have a big reason why I have him over Zach Edey. They could be interchangeable. But spoiler alert, I have Zach Edey in second team. So either way, he's gonna make a team for me.
Yeah, Hallel Ware was definitely one of those guys where like I highly contemplated putting in first team. Ultimately, I just had him at second team due to a few other guys that I thought maybe were slightly more deserving, but very much could argue he might be more deserving. Anyways, here's the reasons why I picked these guys on all NBA first rookie team. So Stefan Castle, not much needed to say except for the fact that well we said it earlier, clear cut the most consistent rookie of the season, really bright future, and San Antonio looking great with him and Wemby years to come. Zachary Rasache, obviously number one pick, and maybe had a little bit of ups and downs early on. But I think he really turned it on as the season went by, and clearly very worthy of being all rookie first team. Alex Sarr, also maybe a little bit of a slow start to his season in the beginning, but I think especially the last month or two is when he really started to turn it on. And he had been looking good. Um, Obviously, back before the draft, there was a really, I think Alex Sarr was predicted to be like the number one pick for a while, some time, or maybe wasn't a clear cut number one. But he is definitely one of the few bright spots on Washington. Though honestly, their core is not looking bad. They just need to have some like find the right coach, build some chemistry of years of experience, and maybe they'll be good in a few years. Zach Edey, um, as mentioned earlier, obviously he missed some time, so that might be a thing that could potentially drop him here. But overall, I think he's still deserving because he is still really damn good and he will have a bright future for sure. And then his teammate, Jalen Wells, also really good season. And I think that his might have been, I wouldn't say like shocking. I'm sure people expect him to be good, but like maybe they didn't expect him to be as good as he ended up. And so him being very underrated, in my opinion, I think he is clearly worthy of making the top team. So those are the reasons why I picked these guys for all rookie first team.
All right, and nice. You basically covered it very well. And again, I don't really have much of a reason why I have Kello Ware over Zach Eady. Their stats are actually very similar, so yeah, they're interchangeable at this point. I wouldn't mind just moving on to the second team, to be honest. So let's do that.
Let's go
Um,
ahead and do that.
so yeah, the last reveal of the day, and we've got a few different names. Okay, nothing
Okay, pretty
crazy.
close though.
I'm surprised Lakers fan over here did not add Dalton Connect. Fake Lakers fan? What's going on?
Fake Lakers fan. I don't know about that.
I'm kidding, of
Anyway,
course.
I know. First off, I really wanted to put Dalton on the list, but I think that maybe due to the rotation, which isn't even his fault, but like certain times he maybe just like not like last night against the Warriors. Um, he didn't even get any minutes, I don't think. And it was a little bit confusing. Like I guess I can understand like maybe his defense isn't really like the top thing, but like damn, that was definitely a little bit disappointing. Like they didn't play well last night. Even he plays, he could at least help a little bit. Anyhow, for my second team, I picked Hillel Ware, Isaiah Collier, Yves Missy, Hub Carrington, and Donovan Clingan.
And my list is very similar. I have Zach Eady here, Dalton Connect, Houston Missy, Bob Carrington, and Donovan Clingan. I ended up not having Isaiah Collier. I chose Dalton Connect over him. Definitely mostly because of what happened earlier this season. I feel like after the trade deadline, the minutes did diminish for Dalton, unfortunately, but he is a great 3 point shooter, and hopefully he can have more minutes next year in his sophomore year.
Definitely hope so, sure for sure there. Um, yeah, and I would say main reasons why I picked these guys. Hillel Ware having a great season. He was definitely looked at as one of the top bigs coming into the draft, and he has not disappointed. Isaiah Collier doing pretty good too, honestly, for a not very good Jazz team. Yves Messi, similar situation, doing good for a bad team. Bob Carrington, same thing, I guess. Donovan Clingan, not too bad as well. I will say, I did have a little bit of a toss up between Donovan Clingan and Kyle Filipkowski from the Jazz, but ultimately I gave Clingan the edge because I feel like he's just done a little bit more. And Dalton Connect definitely was a honorable mention, and I think that beginning of the season he was definitely very worthy of being on this list. I feel like due to like I guess recently not quite on the same pace is what kind of had me just barely leaving him off, even though I really wanted to put him on the list. Um, and yeah, like obviously, like if Jared McCain did not get hurt, he would have easily been on the first team. So a lot of eligibility issues playing in too, but ultimately those are the reasons why I put these guys on all rookie second team.
All right, fair enough. You went over it very well. I'm tired. Are you ready to call things off? Should we end it here?
Yeah, I think that would be a good endpoint. It was definitely a long episode, but we ended up getting through it.
It was
So,
surprisingly long. I thought this was gonna be one of our shorter episodes. I was even thinking, will we even make an hour? We almost did
yeah,
2 hours. It's been an
I know
hour and
it's
40
crazy.
minutes.
Yeah, it's funny. Anyways, yeah, I think we did a pretty good job. Obviously, like I feel like the main awards definitely were more worthy of being explained more versus like the teams maybe not as much. So I think it made sense that like as the video went by, the pace also went faster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was a good episode. Once again, per usual, thank you guys for the constant support for our channel. We greatly appreciate it. Would not be where we are today without you guys. If you guys like our content, make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our content. Follow us on all platforms, YouTube, Spotify, um, you name it. TikTok Shorts, YouTube or TikTok, YouTube Shorts. And next this week we did our NBA predictions. Next week, even more fun. We got our NBA awards show. And that will definitely be interesting for sure because we're gonna come up with a lot of cool awards that we will be giving out that you will not see from the actual NBA awards.
Hmm.
So definitely stay tuned. You do not want to miss that.
Yeah, you said it well. I feel like I don't even have to add anything. You covered everything. So, thank you for that. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next week. Goodbye.